Hey, 49er fans. Well, what are you going to do? They lost again. More turnovers, oh man, it was rough. It's a rough day here on a Monday, an Overreaction Monday on the 49ers Report. But we'll start with your one-word reaction to the loss down below in the pinned comment. How do you feel? Let it all out. It's a safe place. I'm here for you. You're here for me. Let's mutually get through this week together as San Francisco is all but done in the postseason run. I think mathematically, technically, not still out, but it does feel like they are officially eliminated. And we should accept that with your one-word reaction. What is it down below in the comment section? All right, well, what do you want me to say? It's just that kind of year. The injuries have been piling up. The turnovers have been piling up. The offensive line played bad today. And now we get into this whole conversation of what do you do going forward? A 33-41 loss to the Dallas Cowboys, and a loss that you kind of go, okay, Dallas did play well. We got to give credit where credit is due, but the San Francisco 49ers, they dug themselves a massive hole with turnovers, and then were unable to overcome it there at the very end. The score's a little misleading because you had the onside kick returned by CeeDee Lamb, and then, of course, the Hail Mary catch. It's like not really 41-33, but it's just frustrating, and that's where we're at on a Monday. And what else can you really say other than the fact that San Francisco has had a bad luck year, a Super Bowl hangover year, and the hope is 2021 is a lot healthier and a lot better. The question I have today, and the question you guys have as well, is will a quarterback change come? So, of course, Nick Mullens left the game late with the injury, had a couple of turnovers, which continue to be a big, massive problem in San Francisco. And that kind of leaves the door open for a possible quarterback change in the final 2 weeks of the year. I don't think Nick Mullens was terrible, but I've been saying this for the past 5 weeks. I always come on and I say Nick Mullens wasn't terrible, but he also wasn't great. And he wasn't great because the pocket presence wasn't that good. He had a couple of sacks, had the strip sack. He had the two interceptions, both of which were bad throws. He was forcing the ball a little bit. But then there were also drives by Nick Mullens where you go, okay, yeah, hit the open receiver, crossing route, great touchdown pass in the back corner of the end zone, tight end, fine, good play design overall. They run the football well at times. The Kyle Shanahan offense is so quarterback friendly. I think we've kind of built this idea that Mullens isn't terrible, because I don't think he is, but I don't think he by any means would be great or even decent in a different offense that wasn't as quarterback friendly as the current one he's in with Kyle Shanahan, excuse me. Now, there are people calling for CJ Beathard to go ahead and take over his spot. That's honestly fine by me. I have no issues with that being the case. You kind of want to decide who's your backup quarterback for 2021. Pick between the two. They've been doing that the past couple of years. There are rumblings and kind of rumors of Garoppolo possibly being healthy in the next couple of weeks. At this point, do you want Garoppolo out there? What's he going to show you that you haven't seen Garoppolo do before? He has a full resume from 2020 and 2019, really even last year, where they go all the way to the Super Bowl and have a good shot at winning that one. With that being said, I do think that you sit Jimmy Garoppolo, you don't play him even if he is healthy, much like I don't think they should play George Kittle either. I think it's between Mullens and Beathard. Pick one of the two. I'll roll with whoever you want. The season is essentially over, and so with that being said, decide who you want your backup quarterback to be, and that would be my real discussion, my real interest over the next couple of games. We should start next week. Nick Mullens or CJ Beathard. Type NM for Nick Mullens. Type CB for CJ Beathard. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. I'm, again, fine either way. You want to start Mullens? Fine. You want to start Beathard? Sure, I'll be interested. We'll see what happens against the Cardinals on Sunday. Let's get into our overreactions here for Week 15. Turnovers are killing this football team. It's unbelievable how many turnovers they continue to have. They've not had a mistake-free football game. What was the stat yesterday? 5 weeks? 8 weeks? It's been a long time since it was 0 turnovers for San Francisco. And it shows here. Here are your worst football teams in the National Football League in terms of turnover differential. Denver, minus 18. They're the worst. San Francisco, second worst in turnover differential. Minus 11. Look, these are all bad teams. Denver's a bad team. The Niners now a bad team. The Bengals, top 3 pick. The Texans are awful. It's not all Nick Mullens' fault, but it's also kind of Nick Mullens' fault. Now, Richie James, that's fumble. That one's on him. Garoppolo in the pocket. Not Garoppolo, sorry. Mullens in the pocket, the strip sack, that one's on him. The 2 picks, those are on him as well. Turnovers are killing this football team, and this was a football team that didn't turn the ball over hardly at all last year. You had a couple of Garoppolo picks that we always kind of scratched our head with, but the fumbles, the strip sacks, it's just not the same team, and it comes down to the fact that you have a banged-up offensive line. You have you're missing your top wide receiver, your top tight end, you're missing your quarterback. All these kind of things have started to kind of overall rear the ugly head of the turnover machine, and now that's what San Francisco is. They turn the ball over too much, and if they had not turned the ball over 3-4 times, it's 4 times yesterday, they probably win that game, but they didn't, and here we are. I mean, another loss, the 9th of the year, and a lot of us scratching our head wondering why so many turnovers, and when can we finally stop turning the ball over multiple times in a game. Drop a like first off. You guys tired of turnovers? I'm like so exhausted. Turnovers, just drop a like. I'm so tired of them. You guys are probably tired of them as well. Okay, we mentioned this a little bit earlier, the whole idea that Garoppolo could come back and save the day. Stay benched. I mean, honestly, it's not even benched. Just stay on the sideline. There's no reason to put Jimmy Garoppolo in for the next 2 games and 2 meaningless games. I'll be honest. We're going to talk about the playoff chances in a second. Get a high draft pick. Tank. Honestly, I'm so anti-tanking, but I'm at the point where it's like, you know what? Just lose these next 2 games. That way we get a top 15 draft pick. We can get 1 extra really good player. You come back next year healthy, and you make a run at it. At Arizona, you play Seattle. Sure, we want to play them tough. I would love to spoil both of their postseason chances, but both of them are basically locked in. The Cardinals are going to be the 7th seed, barring some sort of mega collapse, and Seattle looks like they're going to be either the 3 or the 5 seed. They're locked in either way. They're going to be a postseason team. So, as much as I would love to play spoiler to ruin their days, there's no point in throwing Kittle here as well. There's no point in throwing Kittle in. I mean, just keep Garoppolo on the bench. There's no saving the day. We know what kind of quarterback he is. Unless you want to figure out if he's the quarterback of the future, which I think they already have kind of enough tape to decide that in the offseason, stay benched. Don't bring him back out there. Just keep riding with Garoppolo, with Mullens or Beathard, and I think that's what exactly they will do. If they do make a change, we'll cover it here. I don't see, unless it's like a Beathard change, and again, maybe you're watching this on a Tuesday and they've already announced Beathard to be the starting quarterback, which in that case, great, but stay subscribed because we're doing videos all week long here, even though it is Christmas, and then the offseason is a couple of days away, and we really get some good videos in the offseason to get you guys prepped for the draft and free agency as well. Tank the rest of the way, keep it at 5 overall wins, and you can get a high draft pick. Right now, San Francisco with 5 wins is sitting at number 12. You can improve that inside the top 10 if the Giants were to win one of their next 2 games. Of course, the Lions win another game here. The Chargers could win a couple more games and bump you up. They can get a top 10 draft pick, and honestly, I think San Francisco 100% should go ahead and lose the next 2, and let's be real. The 49ers schedule, Cardinals and Seattle, those are 2 playoff good teams that need to win the next couple of weeks in order to improve their playoff positioning, and so the odds of them losing the next 2 weeks are pretty high. And I've been so anti-tanking and so anti the Niners, throwing in the towel, but maybe you play competitively and you give us a good game to watch on the next the Saturday and then on the following Sunday, but lose both of those that way the draft pick is high, and then we can get excited about potentially taking another star player on top of Ayuk and Kinlaw like they did in this past April in 2020. There you go. Ultimately, for today here on the 49ers Report, trying to get you guys up to date on what's going on with San Francisco, just reacting to another brutal loss. But I'm kind of numb to it because this has been coming for the past couple of weeks. As much as I did not want it to go ahead and happen, it did, and the 49ers are now essentially eliminated from postseason contention, but we kind of already knew that the past couple of weeks. But it's going to be an interesting offseason. Again, Cardinals on Saturday. We'll cover it. Obviously, the game on Sunday. In 2 weeks from now when they take on Seattle, it'll all be great. It'll all be fun. But ultimately, out for today here on the 49ers Report, I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.